Bonjour, français 2. So sorry that you're having to learn like this again for a second day. I do have strep throat, so I'm hoping taking an extra day will help me be able to come back on Wednesday, tomorrow. Okay, quickly, a couple of things. My absences will affect the possibility of a quiz on Friday, so please don't worry about that. Chances are we will not have one. I'll just help y'all prepare for the test next week. If you were absent on Monday, you need to go back, stop this video right now, and go to the classwork from Monday first, okay? Today's assignment will not make sense if you have not completed Monday's assignment first. So I want to make sure I say that. If you were absent yesterday and didn't get it done, or for whatever reason didn't get it done, please start with Monday's classwork. What else do I need to say? Okay, quickly, we're going to take back up in the handout that you worked on yesterday. I hope you did not turn this into the sub. If you did, you need to get it back. Okay, because there was one page that we didn't finish. So the new lesson that was covered in yesterday's video is the lesson on how to say some in French. It's called the partitive article. And the reason it's called the partitive article is quite simple, really. You're learning how to say a part of a whole, right? You've learned, we've talked about le, la, l'apostrophe, and les. We've talked about un and une. So all these mean the. Both of these mean a. And de, de la, and du all mean some, okay? And the way you determine which one to pick has to do with gender and number of the noun that follows the some word. So hopefully you're seeing a pattern in French. You know, we've also talked about possessive articles in the past. We've got mon, ma, mes, ton, ta, te, how to say my, how to say your, how to say their, our, etc. And which one you pick is determined by the gender and number of the noun that follows. So that's the tricky part, because most students are like, how in the world do you remember that fish and milk are masculine? How can you remember that baguette and pie are feminine? Most curriculums that I've worked with say just have students memorize the article with the noun. I will say that I have since learned that 80% of French nouns that end in the letter E or the letters I-O-N tend to be feminine. I mean, that kind of helps, I guess. It does work here. And it also works here, so that's good. All right, that was our quick review. Hopefully the more we work with some, particularly after I return, I'm hoping you will feel better. Okay, please don't stress about not getting everything right in this handout, okay? I'm fully aware this is not an ideal way to learn, but I do expect you to try. Okay, the last page is what we still have now. Yesterday, you were supposed to have worked on this page, where you were drawing, you know, a typical meal. Here as the example, they had a salad, onion soup, and a drink. And then you were supposed to write 3 sentences about your drawing. It does not have to be like this, but you can use this as a model. This says, je prends de la soupe à l'oignon et une salade pour le déjeuner, which means I take onion soup and a salad for lunch. La soupe est salée, the soup is salty. Je prends aussi un soda. I also take a soda. So this is very advanced because they're using some here. They're using the. They're using the again here, and they're using a here. So they obviously are very quick to use different types of articles. So just do your best on that. That's fine. Okay, once you're done with that, this page is really your main written task that I'm going to have you work on today. After this, you will be doing some work on GimKit. So take your time, don't rush. There's not a lot of assignments today. Look at A up here at the top of the page. It says, dans un petit groupe, in a small group of 4 people, mix up, mélangez les images au centre du groupe. Okay, so ideally you would be doing this in your pods. I would love for the sub to be able to tell me that some of y'all actually did attempt this quietly. I don't know if it's going to work or not, but please, I would love for you to try. So ideally you're in your pods. If you end up grabbing somebody from another pod because a lot of people in their pod are working on yesterday's assignment or blah, 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 that's okay, all right? Just really try to get in groups of 3 or 4 ideally. 4 is preferable. Okay, so that's step 1, and then you're going to put your pictures, so don't tear it off. You can just put the handouts just turned to this page in the middle of your group. You can sit on the floor, you can put desks together, but you know, ideally you're just seeing the pictures here, which it's going to be real obvious whose is whose, but whatever, that's fine. Okay, so once you've got the pictures kind of spread out in the middle of you all, then you have completed part A. You're ready to move on to part B. It says, ensuite, posez des questions pour déterminer quelle image correspond à chaque membre du groupe, which means then ask questions to one another to determine which picture corresponds to whom, to which member of the group. Okay, so again, you're probably immediately going to know whose is whose. That's okay. I still want you to do this, okay? The person that is the most confident in your group should start. So, person that's starting, you are student A. You ready? You can use this as your example. You start with tu prends, and then this is the phrase that's going to be replaced according to whatever drawing you're looking at. Pour le déjeuner, for lunch. Okay, maybe somebody has a picture of spaghetti. So you, person A, you might look at that person and ask, tu prends des pâtes pour le déjeuner? Student B is supposed to answer either oui, je prends des pâtes, or non, je ne prends pas des pâtes. Okay, maybe someone has drawn a picture of fish. So student A, you look at that person and you ask, tu prends du poisson pour le déjeuner? Oui, je prends du poisson. Or non, the person answers, je ne prends pas du poisson. I would love for person A to maybe ask one that you know will have a negative answer. Like maybe you purposefully look at the wrong person at one point and ask, tu prends des pâtes pour le déjeuner? So that someone can at least answer one time in your group, non, je ne prends pas des pâtes, or something like that. Okay? And then, what else do I need to say? Okay, so once student A has asked the other 3 people in your pod a few times, then student B, then another person is going to be student A. So make sure that everybody has a chance to be student A, okay? All right, once you've asked, you are also supposed to be filling out this little chart. So you can either ask and fill out as you go along, or you can ask, everybody has the conversation, then you kind of go through and fill it out, okay? So like with the example that I started with, tu prends des pâtes, let's see here, we ask person 1, let's say they say yes, so I'm gonna say, oh, they have pasta, person 1 has pasta, so I'm gonna say des pâtes. And then I guess you have to ask it about each item, right? So you would have to also say maybe tu prends de la soupe aussi? Are you also having soup? Okay, so ask about everything in the drawing. So this might take a while, which is fine, because like I said, this is all we're doing today besides the GIM kit. Maybe someone drew this. Also, I'm not expecting these to be correct. I want you to try your best. I'm imagining there's going to be a couple in each class that get this pretty quickly, but others won't, and that's fine. Again, I'm not there. Maybe this person has some water. Okay, so each student is supposed to take turns asking all the questions and filling out all of, what they see in everybody else's drawings. Okay, so each student will have something slightly different because obviously the other people are not you. I hope that makes sense. Once you've gotten these filled out as best you can, then at this point, make sure your name is at the top of the handout, and you are going to turn this entire thing into the sub today, okay? So take your time, do it together. There's going to be a chance that there are drawings here that we haven't learned. Maybe someone drew something, that they love to eat and we haven't learned it. So you have 2 choices. You may either look it up on Google and try your best with the some word, or you can just leave it blank, but you really shouldn't have more than 1 or 2 squares blank, okay? All right, thank you for your hard work. Without me, I hope to see you tomorrow. Au revoir.